In the cold of winter, gardeners long for gardening season. We make do with seed catalogs and plan for the season ahead. I'm Marcy McDonald with Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading. Today I'm going to show you my process for preparing for planting my seedlings and other garden plants. It's that time of year. It's winter, it's cold outside. We recently had snow, which is relatively unusual in our area in the Pacific Northwest. But those of us who garden start longing to play in the dirt. This is the time of year when we need to plan what we're going to grow in the coming season. Now, there's a certain amount of wiggle room with things that you direct sow, but a lot of what I grow are peppers and tomatoes. Those are my main crops. And those require planning because I need to start them early. In fact, I have to do kind of a tiered growing season because different seeds need to be started sooner so that they'll be ready to plant into the garden as soon as it's warm enough to plant out there, which is generally around May. To help with my planning, I have a garden journal. I use this book to keep track of what I plant and for whom. I usually plant for my sister, for my parents, for my mother-in-law, and then of course myself. So I put a section for each person that I plant for. I put the variety. I put the number of plants that I want. I put the year, and then down below I start listing all of the plant dates. I keep a record of when I plant and how they do, if there's any problems. And I usually at the end of the season record what went well, what didn't. I also have a note on here where I calculated the last average frost date and what that meant week by week. For our area, the last average frost date is April 15th. So for seed planting purposes, I figured out what the date would be for 10 weeks, 9 weeks, etc. I also keep a list of some varieties I might want to try or look for. This year I want to try something a little bit different. I want to diagram my garden boxes. Sometimes the labels go missing. I use popsicle sticks and they break down in the environment. Sometimes I can't remember what I planted where. Part of the planning process is, this is my seed box. It isn't pretty, but it's useful. It's just a shoebox that I salvaged, but it's a nice, big, sturdy box, good lid. People store their seeds in the refrigerator, and that's great, but I just keep mine in a shoebox. I keep them out of direct light, keep them out of extreme temperatures because they're in a climate-controlled house. Now, this is kind of disorganized. I never really organize at the end of the season because it doesn't really matter. I can do it when I'm getting ready for the coming season. These are seed packets that didn't get put away, seeds that are probably too old. Need to figure out what to do with those. And the empty seed packets. So I have a way of kind of remind myself what I need to order. This is a piece of paper with information about blueberries. And I've had people save some tomato seeds and they saved them on these, a Sharpie pen. In my box, because it was convenient, I store my popsicle sticks. I ordered a big batch of them off the internet. These are really great for marking seedlings. I have paper clips. I'll show you those in a minute. I have Blue Lake, bean seeds, scarlet runner beans, and some other beans in here, and some tomato seeds that my mother-in-law saved out of a tomato, and we call them the pill bottle tomatoes because we store them in an old pill bottle. But I do something a little different. My tags here have the names of what I plant. For instance, I have flowers, but I also have a date on the tag because that tells me about what time of year I need to get the seeds planted to start them ahead of time. Some of these seeds are direct sow. You just put them in the garden when the season is right and you're good to go. But things like tomatoes and peppers, those need to be planted ahead of time because they need a longer growing season than we have. And then you have the equivalent of nursery plants, only I plant them myself, so I know they're in organic soil. I know how they've been treated. I've had really good results. So it's worth the effort, and it can save you money because a seed packet only costs somewhere between $2 and $5 depending on the rarity of the seeds. And that's a lot less expensive than buying a plant at the nursery. So I already talked to my sister. She and I went through my seed box and she figured out what tomatoes she wanted to have for this season. So I made a list of specifically what she wants, and then I'll take this and I'll transfer it into my book. I also made a list of what I wanted to grow. And I already talked to my parents and they told me they wanted the same things we had last year, so that's great. Once I had the list, I went online and I picked the seeds that I wanted for this season. And some of those were what I was low on, because I went through here and checked my seed packets to see what I was a little light on. When I order seeds, there's a lot of strategies for that. If you're a gardener, you get seed catalogs in the mail. I've never actually ordered from this company, but I have gardening magazines, so I think I got a mailing list. I don't usually order out of the paper books because there's things that sell out before I get there. So I always order online because that way I can see what's current. When I choose a seed company, that's a personal choice. There are several companies that I order from each season because I've had really good results with them. I like their philosophy and they're local. The kind of the way I figured it is the seed company, if they grow that variety in my home state relatively close to where I actually live, then I know that particular variety will grow in my climate. The companies I buy from generally are companies that their main purpose isn't growing seeds to sell seeds. They sell seeds to support their main mission, which is preserving heirloom varieties. Seeds, you can stick them in a box, but they lose viability over time. So you pretty much have to plant them and then harvest every few years at least to keep viable seeds in storage and available. Over time, we've lost a lot of varieties because people will grow certain kinds because that's what the nursery has. Commercially, they grow certain varieties because they travel well. You can put them in crates and ship them across the country or to other countries even. And the tomatoes or other produce will arrive reasonably intact and reasonably appealing. Because a lot of heirlooms may not be pretty, they may not transport well, but are delicious and have properties that are great for the home garden. If you only have to get them from the garden to your plate or your face, then how delicate they are doesn't really matter that much. There's a lot of interesting varieties you can get from local seed companies that aren't necessarily available in standard nurseries. So I like to be able to pick and choose, especially because I like to pick the varieties that are developed locally. I look for disease resistant, for diseases that are a problem in my region. A lot of the varieties I'll choose are developed at Oregon State University. So they were developed locally by local people, and so I know those are pretty good varieties. A lot of people buy from large national companies, and there's nothing wrong with that. Or just go to the local nursery or big box store and buy what's there. There is no wrong way to garden. Experiment each season and see what works for you. I'm just sharing my personal philosophy of why I buy from the companies that I do. I made my list, I ordered my seeds, my packages have all come now. This is always kind of exciting. Get to unbox my seeds. Nice recyclable packaging. Need to sharpen my knife. As much as I'd like to promote these companies, I don't have any sponsorships, so I'm not specifically calling them out. Choose your own seed companies according to what you are interested in. They're your own philosophy. This package is already partly open. Didn't fare so well in the U.S. Postal Service. This one peel open. Yeah, this one is easy to open. I ordered a lot of seeds. It's a little easy to go overboard. This isn't seeds. All right, let's clear out all this packaging. I'm going to now organize my box. So I know that those are regular cherry tomatoes on a regular schedule. Seed packets usually give you instructions. You know, this particular packet says 57 days. That's about when they'll be ripe from the time they're planted to when you actually have fruit that you can eat. And let's see, does this actually say so? So 6 to 8 weeks before your last expected frost date. I already did the calculations on that, and for us, those are approximately May 19th. So that's where those go. I mentioned the paper clips. What I do in my organization is if I get a second packet because I'm running low, paper clip the packets together so they stay together. I have one variety of tomatoes. The first year I grew them, I planted them, the seedlings all at the same time I plant my tomatoes. And this particular variety takes longer because I ended up with a lot of green fruit at the end of the season because it took longer to ripen. So I just adjusted accordingly. I made a tag for them that is allowing an extra 2 weeks for them to get bigger before I plant them. So now I have a schedule. That's what the book is for, to keep track of when to plant the tomatoes for our area. Now I'm at a higher elevation, so it's a little bit different for me than for other people in my area. These are flowers got at a festival last summer. This is a wildflower mix. These are direct sow. After all danger of frost is past, scattered seeds over the planting area. I will put those with my other summer flowers. I thought I had a tag for those. But I'm going to repurpose one of these tags because I'm no longer growing this. So I'm going to make a tag. Flowers. Direct. So, and I'll put them in a section near my sunflowers. I'll put them after my sunflowers before my beans. 6 to 8 weeks, so somewhere between March 5th and February 19th. Flowers March 5th. So I know these are ones that I have new ones of. We'll keep these handy in case we need them. Now we get to go through the new ones I just opened. So I bought some flowers for fun. Let's see when these go in. 4 to 6 weeks. I have no memory. 4 to 6. March 5th. To March 19th. So I'll just organize these. So I got some new stuff to try. I got some romaine. Yeah, I gotta make some new tags. So I got index cards. So I'm going to make a lettuce tag. And these are both 4 weeks, March 19th. So sugary, hybrid. These ones I paper clipped together because I had some left from last season. Most seed packets have a lot in them. You know, they'll have 20, 30 seeds, sometimes more. But with tomatoes, you gotta be careful with some seed companies only give you 10 seeds. And that's not a bad thing. They usually are priced accordingly. It's just, you gotta pay attention. Alrighty, next seed company. These are, oh, here we go. New tomatoes. I have a lot of cool new varieties of tomatoes to try this year. My sister usually likes to try new ones. I try new ones. So we get all kinds of cool things. This is one of the only ones that I buy from that's not local. but we've had really great luck with them. They're great seeds. They have things we can't get locally. But sometimes the deciding factor is, can I buy it from a local seed company? No. Is there a good, reliable company that still has a business philosophy that I can get behind? Sure. Just because they're in another state doesn't mean they're bad. Ooh, free seeds. Bok choy. A lot of times as an incentive, they'll throw in a seed packet as kind of a trial if you order dollar amount, or I don't know. I don't remember ordering those. I have a bonus variety of carrots. Either I accidentally ordered or they accidentally sent them. Well, it looks like this is a bonus packet. Thank you to the seed company. I get to try black carrots. These look really interesting. Bonus. Put my bonus carrots in here. These look like really exciting tomatoes. This is one of my sister's let's try a new variety thing. One of her experimentals. And I like to plant a lot of flowers around my vegetables to help bring pollinators in. I decided to try a new kind of pepper, habanada. Now I like jalapenos, but sometimes I can get a little warm. And this way, theoretically, we'll get all the flavor without the heat, so we can mix with the other ones if we have something where we're concerned about heat. Because sometimes in the seasons where the weather is a little more extreme, the peppers will get hotter. So we thought we'd try them. We tried the habanada, which is the heatless habanero, and those were pretty good. We thought we'd give these a try too. Another variety of local tomatoes developed, I think these ones were developed at Oregon State. Last ones, Columbine, Marigold, Snapdragon. Kind of seeing a theme here. We got them all filed away. Now that I have consulted with the others that I start seeds for, decided which plants I want to grow this season based on my garden journal, ordered my seeds, then organized them by plant date, I'm ready to make plant labels and plant my seeds. I hope this video has been helpful to guide your own record keeping and planting for your garden. Good luck and happy growing in the season ahead. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, be curious, keep an open mind, and never stop learning.